couple of years after that failed audition, I actually got my first road gig. I didn't have to audition, I was recommended. And it was a small gig. I was the R&B drummer in an opening act. The artist was Brenda Russell, and we were opening up for Billy Ocean. Anybody remember those days? So it was great. It went great. We were touring the world. We weren't doing the biggest venues, but it was a very successful tour. And at the end of the tour, I got called by one of the biggest music managers in the industry, a guy by the name of Alan Kovac. Alan wants me to come to his office because he wants to put me in this new R&B band that's going to be going on tour, kind of a baby band. Wants to talk to me about it. He's basically going to offer me this gig. But when I'm driving there, I have some anxiety. But this isn't stage fright per se. It's because Alan also managed one of the biggest pop acts in the world at that time. And I'd heard from a friend of mine that they're going to be looking for a new drummer. So therein lies the quandary. Do I tell Alan that I really want to play with this new artist, or do I take the gig that's at hand? What do you think I did? You think I went for the big gig, or you think I took the gig that was at hand? I didn't go for the big gig. I went for the gig that was at hand. I was grateful, I was graceful, I thanked him. I left his office, I realized, well, I got this cool new R&B gig. As the day's going on, though, I feel kind of this pit in my stomach. I start getting all kind of flustered, all kind of confused, because the opposite of clarity is confusion. By the end of the day, I knew that I made the wrong decision. Had another basically sleepless night, but in the morning, I decide I'm going to call Alan. I'm going to tell him the truth. So I'm dialing the phone. My heart feels like it's beating out of my chest. He ends up calling me back, and I get him on the phone, and my heart's beating again. I said, Alan, the truth is that I really want to play with Richard Marx. I mean, who wouldn't want to play with that guy, right? Look at that hair. That is just classic 80s, right? And I told him that I heard that Richard was looking for a new drummer. And Alan was known to be a very volatile guy, so I'm expecting him to just rip my head off and yell at me. He goes, yeah, man, I didn't even know you were a rock drummer. I thought you were an R&B drummer. But I ask you guys, does this look like a rock drummer or an R&B drummer? That was taken from that time period. The truth is I play all styles, right? We have to be diverse. He said, well, we are going to play one more show with the existing drummer. It's a small show. It's a promotional show for the record companies and the labels because we're going to be releasing a new record. Then we are going to be auditioning drummers. We're going to go on a world tour. I said, I'll tell you what. If you like, I can get you an audition for Richard, but if that's the case, you're not going to be able to go out with this R&B band. At that moment, I felt completely calm. And I felt completely in purpose, and I didn't care about the missed opportunity. And then something came over me, and like the words came out before I could even stop them. I said, Alan, why don't you let me play this last gig? That would be like an audition, and that would save you guys the time, the energy, and the money of looking for a new drummer. And my heart literally feels like it's gonna beat out of my chest. I'm thinking, God, what guts, right? And Alan goes, oh, now that's an interesting idea. He says, you know what? I'll talk to Richard, and I'll let you know. And I hang up the phone, and again, I just felt completely calm. And then he calls back a couple hours later, and he says, Richard wants to meet you tomorrow at the office. Can you come out? I said, you bet yourself I can come out. Absolutely. So I go out the next day. I meet Richard Marx. We get along fabulously. I end up playing that gig. The gig goes so well that I end up doing the next 15 months playing sold-out arena shows on the main stage with Richard Marx. So my takeaways from that event. The first thing is, have crystal clarity. Know exactly who you're talking to. Whether it's your customer, your kid, whether it's a drummer talking to a manager. I was talking managerial speak. Time, energy, money. I blew him away. And it pays off. I mean, it literally paid off. The second thing I learned is, you gotta be passionate about what you do, right? Passion is what drives us to do anything in our jobs, in our personal lives. But passion gets us there. Purpose is what keeps us there. And I realized that when you have a crystal clear and present purpose, amazing things happen. Extraordinary things happen that you don't even expect. Like I had these thoughts. The thoughts became words and actions. Have you guys ever been in that zone, you know, when you're completely on purpose, when you're at your job, and things happen that you didn't expect, right? You get in that zone, right? You with me? I call it the zone of now. And then, as my life continued, what I realized is, the truth is, all we have is now. Life is a series of nows. How do we want to spend our time? Now I'm going to say something that really might shock you. Because life is a series of nows, this could be the best moment of your life right now. I see some people smiling and some people going, this guy's crazy. I get it. Because your brain tells you all these reasons why it can't be. Because you're not with your family, you're at a convention with Big C, you don't have a beer in front of you, for God's sakes. You can make up all these excuses. But here is the clincher. This is the only moment. This is it. Now, I know I'm a rock and roller. Rock and rollers love to party. Rock and rollers love to have a good time. We all know that. But partying is not in the substance. Partying is in the mindset.